Anderson out here looking like I'm looking at this computer like I'm looking at the Matrix. I am not a coder. Let some of you all get in here. I got about 30 minutes for you today. You know, I got some shit to talk. Shout out to BGS. I saw he was live going over Jeff James video. Um, Shout out to the Dumper Podcast. He got a video I haven't looked at, but I definitely agree already what he's gonna say. 'Cause I already know where it's going with that streamer agent. It seemed like I Show Speed is one of the few like real ones, and I'm not gonna completely throw the dude out the window, but I may do my own video on that because a lot of people. I went through my TikTok comments and I be using voice to text, so I be talking shit. And I was surprised. Maybe everybody that didn't agree with me got so triggered that they blocked me, and they didn't want to argue. But I had a lot of likes, a lot of people replying, even content creators replying to certain stuff I did. And sometimes stuff can come out real stupid. Can come out stupid if you don't check it because of voice to text and stuff like that. But I've been in like Asian talk, biracial talk. Like it's interesting the slip and slides, rabbit holes of TikTok you'll go into because how that algorithm is so schizophrenic. But yeah, but anyway, I'm sitting here doing something and going through TikTok, and I see this picture of this older woman. She kind of reminds me of my aunt about 20 years ago. But she's sitting there talking to. She did a post. It wasn't a video. She just did a comment, like post talking about, and we're talking about age gaps. I'm gonna tell you, straight up, and I'm gonna tell you straight up like this. Fuck you. Fuck your daughters. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck about your feelings. This is my disclaimer. The things that I'm about to say, I stand on. I say to your face. I dare you to get fucking mad. Get fucking mad. If you're easily triggered, you better get your ass off now because I don't intend to necessarily be triggering, but I'm gonna tell the truth. What the fucking truth is, this YouTube channel is not here to make money. Although if I make money, if you all donate, it's always appreciated. This channel is here first and foremost to tell the truth, and unfortunately, a lot of y'all can't handle the truth. That ain't my fucking problem. This is for anybody that will watch this later on because my people are cool. But and I'm letting you know now. So if you don't want your day, if you're easily triggered, if you're one on ones, you disagree with something, even though you see it around, I probably tell you not to listen because I don't give a fuck. I just don't. So that disclaimer out of the way, I saw this woman, a black woman. She was it was kind of a comment post, and essentially what she was talking about was you'll never see a 40-year-old. My birthday's coming up. My birthday's coming up in 10 days, about 10, 11 days. I will be 39. And so 12 months and I'll probably be officially an old nigga. I probably already are, according to these people. Man, you old. That's what you gotta understand, nigga. You old. Travis Hunter. You old now. I'm what's hot right now. I'm like, dude, if you don't sit your ass down, I'm what's hot right now. Nigga, you old. Y'all gotta come up with some better the millennial generation is not the generation that's gonna give a fuck about that. But anyway, so I sit here. No, I haven't seen that, and I don't care. I mean, at the end of the day, a lot of dudes will go after people for grifting. They're grifting. A lot of people do stuff to grift, man. Like, and I traditionally don't like to use that word, but a lot of motherfuckers are grifting. This is economy. It's tiered to season. So you can never go wrong going after black men. You can never go wrong if you go after FBAs, you might be able to tap into an international market. It's money in going after FBAs because you got a lot of people that are triggered. They're upset because of Trump. And they think black people are supposed to jump out the window for them, and they realize that's not happening. And you got a lot of people that are just mad just to be mad. So, if you prey on that and take advantage of that, there's a lot of was actually pretty quick. There's actually a lot of opportunity there. Luckily, I don't do that. I don't cannot I just don't care to do that. I just don't give a fuck about your feelings. To that extent to just be lying to y'all so y'all can feel good. I don't like dealing emotional dope. Holy shit, that shit is fast as hell. Shit. You going that fast. So, but I will jump on that. I got that, the gap, so the gap, that, and it's actually another thing if I remember it. But like I was saying, she was basically saying that the message actually says if you will never see a 40-year-old man friends with an 18-year-old male because they see them as children, which is actually not true. That's not as true. Yeah, there's a obviously commonality gap, but that's not as true as what women see. But you'll see, but all of a sudden they want to date. All of a sudden when it comes to an 18-year-old, they want to date. Hold on. They want to date younger. And what I say to statements like that is fuck you and go to hell. And the reason why I say that is most of y'all don't even know motherfuckers. Like, I would ask you this anecdotally, who the fuck do you know this 40 years old in the black community, this 40 years old dating 18-year-olds? Like seriously, 18, 19-year-olds. Who the fuck do you know? Now, maybe you'll see 23. Usually, if they're going to go that low, they'll go 25, 26, 27. Generally, dudes that are 40 will probably go like 20, 27, 30, 30, 31, 32. If they're going to go to 35. Dudes are usually not dipping below 23 like that. They're not. Number one, every guy ain't qualified. And when I say qualified, every guy isn't gonna have his body together to be doing that. So you're talking about dudes, and not only do they already get bitches, but you're also talking about dudes that they're in so demand that they can really reach down. I'm not saying it's hard. I'm not saying it's necessarily hard, but what I'm saying is it's not common. Like people be trying to act like it is. People really be out here trying to act like there's some fucking epidemic. There's some fucking epidemic where everywhere you go, you just seeing all of these, first of all, black women, but if it ain't like, it's crazy. It's crazy. Y'all really, and you always say 18 years old because you trying to insinuate that somebody's a sexual predator. Bitch, go to hell and die. And I'm going to say it just like that. I consider an act of violence. When somebody tries to insinuate that you're a predator, honestly, you really should get popped in the mouth. A woman should like seriously. That's an accusation that really is worthy of you getting popped in the mouth. Like dead ass. Women have gotten too casually, like you got that situation right now with the white bitch and the young white bitch in the DoorDash situation, which because he's white, you're not gonna be able to deploy that white shit as easily on him. If he was black, yeah, everybody take her side. But see, it's amazing when people just don't take their side. You know what it is. She thinks she has to yell and scream. Yeah, you got to do that because he's white. So you're trying to bring people on your side, which is somebody that has done Uber Eats from time to time, which on buying it and drop, which I typically wouldn't do that. The reality is you're not supposed to go on somebody's fucking door. Well, what if they don't show up? Then you leave the food there. You contact I never Door Uber, whoever, and be like, you gonna give me my fucking money. The shit's there. I got a picture in case you want it. That motherfucker, I waited 5 minutes. You could get killed going to somebody's door. You could get like, are you serious? That's castle doctrine. It don't matter if they knew you were coming. But see, again, white people don't got to worry about shit like that. That's out of what they got to worry about. That's so. Of course, they're gonna be a lot on that. But the thing is, it's always this insinuation that the dudes are a predator because you're insecure. You got dudes that are not 6 foot, that are whatever. The rejection is something that all men got to deal with, whether you're over 6 foot or whatever. And you all essentially are trying to terraform the society by calling people predators. You all are predators. You all, it's a lot of shit that if we like, again, I point you to paternity fraud. It is so much. Man, it was a woman. I may post a video. It was a woman. Shout out to the sister. It was a woman. It was a black woman that she worked in the nursery as far as the hospital. And she was talking about how women, she had to tell a woman that child support. I guess it was asked of her, and it was child support because she there's not a name to who the dad is because they're not there, so they can't fill it in. And they were just casually going over who they should make the father and fill in the name. That is grounds to get your ass. That should be straight up criminal charges. Fuck you being a mom. Women use children as a shield, and the reality is, bitch, you better have a family in your state. Cause like people got to stop letting these women like straight up like that. That should be criminal charges. Like straight up, that is fraud. That is fraud. If you do that in a bank or something like that's fraud. That is fraud. That is what that is. That is fraud. That is fraudulent. But it's allowed to happen. Hold on one second. Hold on one second. Yeah. Tools. And so the thing is, women are always saying, they always say 18. Always 18. I get it. That's the legal age limit. But you all are not seeing that many men in that age range dealing with 18-year-olds. And if you do, why aren't you talking to the 18-year-olds? It's always the men you want. So basically, these women get to just do whatever they want to do with they pussy, and y'all just don't say shit. But the dudes y'all want to regulate. Fuck you. Fuck that. Did you know an 18-year-old can fuck a 14-year-old? It's called high school. So all of this kind of, y'all are getting a lot of millennial women. I've told you all about this. All these millennial women getting in their 40s now. It's marching, and now they're upset, and now what they're essentially are doing is they're trying to terraform the society by basically saying that you're a predator, and trying to insinuate that. Like, dudes really need to start getting real hostile with that. Because if another man does that, that's grounds to whoop his ass. Like, that is not cool. And women are getting way, way, way too casual with that. People say, "Oh man, you're advocating for violence," blah, blah, blah. But I'm like, for real though, because they're advocating for violence. When you do that, that's what they're doing. They are basically saying because they're sexually insecure, the violence should come down upon you because that's what they're doing. That is what they're calling for when they do that. That is not okay. And when people get on here and they just casually, say stupid stuff like that, when they don't even know people in there, I'm like, yo, if you really feel that way, why don't you tell the people in your life that if you really feel that way? But you probably can't because you don't have people in your life. You may have whole ass females in your family that's basically doing sex work, which hey, that's on them. And then it's like this blaming the men, and men should be very hostile when there's a thing to be righteous. Men should be very hostile on these things because it's getting louder and louder, and they always go to 18. That's how you know they're not trying to have a. I wish somebody would ask me that on a panel. Because I'll be like, hey, I'm sorry, like y'all. At the end of the day, I'm gonna do like you worried about what people doing overseas. They never. It's always black men. They never had a balls to insinuate other races of men are doing that. It's always that's how you know it's sexually regulated. It's trying to sexually regulate somebody. I mean, if most dudes ain't getting chicks, why are you like an 18-year-old's a consulting adult? They always want to bring up grooming. And I'm like, I'll have the conversation. That's why I had it with Glendon. Because I'm like, you're not about to just sit here and think I'm gonna be scared of that. I'm an honorable person. So I ain't got nothing to hide. All these chicks with STDs, NBA young boys sitting here with damn near 13 kids. Shut up. All these teachers, white, that are getting caught up. That are getting caught up. But you all are sitting here trying to, shame dudes, scare dudes. Oh man, I don't want to be a bad guy. And them idiots be falling for it. No. Because you all are trying to guide these fools into basically dealing with your old ass. At the end of the day, you should have a man. That is not dude's fault that y'all sat here and y'all played in the whores association, and now you're upset. So that's the main thing I kind of wanted to drop. Shout out to Stefan Molyneux with the $5. What would happen if there were a man that did what she did? These women are defamation harassers. They are. Shout out, they are, man. And I'm glad she getting clowned. People are clowning her with AI. Shout out to Afro Merchant with the $10. Happy birthday of you officially Ugg. Oh, yeah, it's funny. I've been Ugg for a minute. Now, the way these young people, you seen that picture? Yeah, as far as so I mean, be paying attention to that. I may do a former video talking about that because going into what these tactics are. Because at the end of the day, especially with an economy, all these chicks are alone. Like y'all played the game that y'all played. Y'all better get like Sarah and pop a dude out the hat like she did and stop playing. You playing and you played yourself. And essentially, what y'all trying to do is y'all trying to scare men. Your issue really ain't who men are dating. Your issue really is that men are either doing alternative actions, or what they're doing is they're opting out completely. That's your issue. Your issue is they're opting out. They're either opting out completely, or and that video, the video stuff I was telling you, that stuff is already here. It just depends on how technical you are. So at the end of the day, and it's, I said it's always women are not attractive that are doing that. So this oh man, you want to deal with children. Yeah, she basically, and oh, this is the other thing about the video, not just saying what she said. She was trying to make the argument she was trying to make. So she did try to make an argument. The argument she was trying to make was men aren't friends with 18-year-old males because we see them as kids. And Dumper actually did a good video commenting on this. That was like his last video, so I may share it. The nature of the relationships of 18-year-olds, of when it comes to men and young dudes. Again, that term, that's a Z term. It is the OGs, whether it's gangster stuff or hood stuff, whether it's sports, whether it's whatever. That's a different type of relationship than men have with than women, because women are being pursued and men are the pursuers. Yeah, older dudes compete with younger dudes, but it's a little bit different because older dudes tend to have money. Younger dudes tend to obviously have the energy. So it's like it depends on what that chick is dealing with and stuff like that, and how much you keep yourself up and balance it out. The other thing is the women, because they're being pursued, they have a much more conflict or adversarial relationship with women, even mothers and daughters, in that way, because because resources are scarce. There's a whole bunch of wombs out here. Just depends on how one looks. There's not a whole bunch of dudes that's got motion and got money and got the genetic currency. And so for that reason, that's more. I mean, men obviously compete. We know this, but that's more of an adversarial relationship. And under the guise of feminism and all that stupid stuff, that's the stuff that they don't talk about, because it's always turn against men. All men bad. All men bad. All men bad. That's the problem. So when you're sitting here, you're speaking on relationships you don't even know, because male relationship with our relationships with younger dudes is typically going to be more of a mentoring relationship, and there's certain bonds that can be formed depending on what the situation is when it comes to that. But that's a different type of relationship, whether it's old soldiers, young soldiers, you know um you get what I'm saying. It's in a lot of different areas of activity. I'm not saying women don't have those things, but it's not the same, because sex is always in the room when it comes to them and how they deal with. That's what they leave out. And so a lot of these chicks always they do a lot of projecting, yo. They do a lot of projecting, man. A lot of projecting. And they get on these apps and they start, I mean, that T app told you everything you needed to know. And you see it in the white community as well with Leo and different stuff. These women are getting insecure, and what they're doing is they're doing reputation destruction. That's essentially what that is. That is straight up reputation destruction. And dudes need to be like, y'all not gonna just be doing that and think there's not gonna be no consequences to you all doing that. You all get mad and you all just start destroying somebody's reputation because you upset. You because you lying. And a lot of dudes would be anyway. So you got a lot of people speaking on situations that they don't have no fucking clue about. None whatsoever. Man, I might as well shut the fuck up. What time is it? Now, shout out to Stefan Molyneux again with the $5. Black women shame black men out of dating younger and going overseas because it's the way of black men to get our lick back the way they sold out. I mean, it ain't even about lick back, man. I mean, I don't. This is business. I don't. It's like men are supposed to exercise leverage. They're supposed to. That is part of being a man. I don't know where the fuck. Now, you can do it responsibly, you can do it irresponsibly, of course. But I don't know where men decided that being a good man was basically by you not, exercising your leverage. I mean, yeah, we decided, okay, it's probably a good idea to not put hands on women. So fine. But we actually don't even mentally go at women like we could. We actually really hold back in a lot of areas when it comes to women. A lot of areas. Yeah, you have no idea. I've been working on something and finally this shit's starting to act right. Shoot. But yeah. Yeah, and dudes be going along with it. Dudes be going along with it. And it's like, nah, man, this is leverage season. And a lot of dudes ain't even in the game like that. And as far as you also got videos of them talking about, oh, you can't go to Medellin, passport bros. No, that's called Trump. And if people don't want money, they don't want money. I mean, it is what it is, right? So we can leverage marriage and commitment. Well, it's not just leverage and commitment. It's not. It's actually more practical. Like that's the point. Your point is self improvement. Other than having a purpose, quality of life, being disciplined, being kind of on point on a daily basis. Other than those things, because those things kind of they stack on top of each other. The point of self improvement is to increase your leverage. I broke that leverage down in currencies: economic, social. So social is status, economic clearly is money, emotional is gain, sexual is your ability to, I call it 5-star plumbing, your ability to put it down. And genetic is you maximizing your genetics by being physically fit. That also deals with a lot of all different stuff. Stuff all goes together. Nobody breaks that down. They just say self improve. Nobody breaks it down as to why, because I don't know where all your holes are. So if you're somebody like me and you're short, you're gonna take a genetic hit because I'm short. So I mean, it's not an issue. Nobody has all advantages, and even people that have potential don't necessarily maximize their potential. So with me, it's like okay, I can date Hispanics. They don't have a height thing. I do deal with black women. It depends, and I gotta cycle through numbers. So you have to make up for that and other stuff. It's not as like clinical as I'm making it, but these are frameworks. It's not about being like clinical like white boys. No, these are frameworks that you build your art on top of. That's what it is. It's not meant for you to be like, well, this has to be here, and if it's not here, you fall apart. No, these are frameworks. And as you condition your brain on frameworks, your brain can easily recall them. This is why I like to talk in acronyms and stuff like that. I mean, I can remember stuff without that, but those are good memory devices. Memory devices. This is these things are not just out of nowhere. I mean, I need to do a better job at really organizing them, but they're not just they're just there, just to be there. I mean, you got Asian, you got Blasian, you got Asian that's on the more darker end, so melanin count. You got a lot of stuff. That's why you open yourself to the world, then a lot of opportunities start being offered for you. And depending on what you want to do. I'm not saying I want my grandkids to look like me or at least be blacker, so that feeds into what I look for, but I ain't got nothing to do with who I'm fucking. As I'm getting older, that's something I'm gonna have to start clocking in on certain stuff and getting deals made. But as you get experience, see, man, like traveling and stuff like that is stuff you want to do young so you can have those experiences. So if you need to call back on them, you can. Versus this is why dudes go overseas and they start the nearest thing to smile at them. It's somebody that told me like dude smiled at the nearest dude, and even though he's got money, but he was lacking in other areas, right? Like other areas. Um, he had to get with what he had to get with. But truth be told, I'm like, nigga, truth be told, you could have did that here. It's certain things. I'm not saying you gotta have a baddie, but it's certain things. It's like, look, y'all could have did that here. You know. Some people be doing shit. It's like, nigga, you can do it, especially in this market. So at the end of the day, yeah, whether it's Sunni, all that stuff, it's a lot of stuff. It's like it's really not scarcity. And what they try to do is try to make it like that your way is the only way. But see, you don't have to be around them unless you work with black women at your job and stuff. Luckily, the way I get like all the stuff I get my money, I control who I'm around. I don't got to be around nobody I really don't want to be. Really, no. I don't. The only people I kind of got to be around is like my brothers, and I only see them like once every couple of weeks, if that. Because we're all very independent, always was. That's why you saw me driving like you did. So Yeah. I mean, dude, it's so much like when you, because you starting to see that again, 60% of the it's so much stuff like options really out there, dude. You be like, y'all are really crazy because there's way more options for us than it is for them. They don't like to get dudes that are making X amount of money that's actually gonna put work in for them, even Africans. The level of compliance they're gonna demand just based on their cultural foundation, just based on their cultural foundation compared to us, they can't replicate what we do, not at scale. They really can't. Even where we are now, we can replicate what they do easily. And other like, are you serious? So it's like it really, I hate to use a Naruto term, but it's really like a fucking genjutsu. Because when you really ask these dudes like, what's up? These dudes really, they're, oh no man. Oh, like, why do you do that? Oh, no, no. You know, because they don't want, cause, which means you ain't thinking, which is exactly how they want it. You not thinking. That's exactly how they want you. You not thinking so you can get caught up. And then that's why they try to talk about the red pill destroyed my life. I was looking at a video Q pill was doing. And it's like they always gotta bring up white people. The red pill destroyed my life, man. It destroyed my life. I'm like, destroyed your life. It made me hate women. And it's because you gotta understand, man, there's a white supremacist, like, when it comes to white people, it's a white supremacist element. That's something them niggas never talk about. Q Pill and them, you know, he don't want to not get on white platforms. And he's a cool dude. I mean, he's kind of like, he's better than Media Man, but he be on that, he be doing that Media Man shit too, though. But he ain't messed up as much as Media Man has. I mean, not messed up. He ain't as obvious with it because I don't think he needs to do that. But yeah, but yeah, man. Well, you know, oh, they done messed up, man. I found out Cash App got a new feature where you can borrow $100. Oh, they done fucked up. 'Cause I'm about, yeah, man. Well, you could use $100 for Cash App. You know that? But yeah, as far as the FBA thing, I'm not worried about that because at the end of the day, you know, people, that's kind of new form pro blackness is taken, and it is what it is. I mean, you know, they ain't got no really compelling arguments. They basically want this to be a one way street, and yeah, that's not happening. That's not happening at all. So you know, they can kick rocks. I don't know what they, and they, that's how, why they can't even articulate themselves because they know they full of shit. I mean, even look at, I mean, truth be told, look, even though it's not for tether reasons, look at Nicki Minaj is getting hit. They hit, boy, them women getting tired of Nicki Minaj. Yeah, a lot of stuff is being called out. Oh damn, I completely forgot about that. See. Let's see. What's up, AB? What's up, Phantom Clutch? What's up, Compassion Callus? Hey, yo, we actually started. Let me not say we. Compassion Callus started that Discord, so he's like one of the main controllers. So I'm if you all are already in my Discord, when he's ready, I'm gonna give the invite link because I actually haven't been inviting people. We got stuff like Dr. Tia John, or he's got stuff like Dr. Tia Son Johnson stuff in there and stuff. And so I'm gonna be in there. So that's gonna be a more general thing outside of just my channel, my stuff. And we are trying to do a master Discord. So AB, get the word out. We gonna roll it out kind of intermittently for cool folks, but this is some really cool stuff we can do. Number one, we can have internal voice chats where you ain't really got to worry about, y'all can start that up when you start it up, but we can have internal voice chats where, we ain't got to worry about, like, I ain't saying to talk crazy, but it's like yeah, we ain't gotta worry about getting caught up. If people got issues, they can bring it up there. You can get to the on these chats on your from your phone with Discord. In case all y'all don't got Discord, we can get on certain live streams real heavy. So like you could show up real heavy. Because the stuff is through the phone. So it's good, and it's a general conversation. So y'all be spread the word for that for people that's cool. I mean, we like real talk. I don't know. I'm not trying to say what a goal is, but by the end of it's going into November. By 2026, we need to have a good amount of people in that space because we can actually focus conversations in that. There's a lot of things we can do with that. Aggregate, mental resources, a lot of different stuff. Yeah, but we need to bring people in there before. Yeah, but it'll be like a soft launch. Yeah, soft thing and then official when you want it to. It's called like the initiated. That's what he named it. It's a decent name. It's a good name actually. It don't need to be no red pill that nothing like that. So I think that's gonna create a lot of opportunities that I don't think a lot of y'all. I've told you all what a Discord could be, a master Discord like that. That can create a lot of opportunities as far as I'm talking about as far as conversational opportunities. I'm talking about channel opportunities, just opportunities about different stuff like sports and stuff like that. That's not the same thing. Yeah, that makes sense that Ruby Rose would have that type of personality. That makes absolute sense. And that's a toxic personality trait. Like, women like that when they get 40 and 41 and they get up there in age, what are we talking about? Like, what are we talking about? They all want to blame somebody else for their own choices. These women have more freedom than a lot of women have had. Than, So yeah, and because a lot of this stuff has gotten repetitive, and there's a lot of opportunities for people I think that's cool. Like the dumper, I think is actually. I mean, I don't know him personally. I haven't talked to him, but I think his channel. I think he speaks to stuff that's not being spoken in the space. So it creates opportunities to kind of highlight certain people to, like him. You know, only logical smaller channels that get some pull. You know, and like really get organized in a lot of different ways. And my Discord was a good test case. And remember, Compassion and Callous has his YouTube is at 10,000 now. His YouTube is at 10,000 now. His TikTok is at 10,000. So again, stuff on TikTok, and I've actually gotten a lot of positive feedback on TikTok. As far as comments that I've made, so I may take a different look at that too. At the end of the day, Ruby Rose is exotical. I'll give Ruby Rose credit for not getting a tit job, because some of these chicks, if they get a cheap tit job where it's like all that scarring in under your breast, especially if you don't have large breasts, so it looks fake. The reality is, y'all would do better being flat chested. Just focus on situating your hips and your ass. Ruby Rose is smart to do that. Ruby Rose dresses well, but at the end of the day, and Ruby Rose is one of these bitches that's definitely been fucking since she was 15 to 16. She probably lied about her age, not making no excuses for it. But these bitches do that. Eve does that. They all do that. They all lie, which again, that shit should be criminal. Like that shit should not. You got to deal with that on the front back end too. Not know. Well, nah. These women, if a chick get a fake ID, that there should be some really serious consequences to that. And so that's gonna create a lot of threads and stuff, because I've learned better about how to do something with Discord, how to make stuff threads that can be gone back to, so people keep certain conversations going. And then like real talk, we can get, honestly, you get the momentum up, because I can create squeeze pages for stuff like this, and we can control when people get in there. Like, dude, that can create a lot of opportunities for a lot of stuff. Like real talk, like like even 1,000 person Discord with people in it. But like we really could, because I know I could put 1,000 people in the Discord myself, and I know Compassion Callus can probably put like another 1,000 himself. And then BGS can probably put a good like extra 1,000 on his own too, just outside of like who we know, like for real, for real. Ruby Rose is an attractive chick. I'm not gonna take. Shout out to Taylor Rooks for getting married to her brother. I ain't mad. Shout out to Sarah Fontenot for bringing her the dude that she was with out. I'll give her credit for that, even though he ain't no superhero nigga that these women always trying to act like they need to have. I mean, he looked like a solid on point brother that would about make sense as to what you being 37. You know, because at the end of the day, oh, why does that matter? It matters because, at the end of the day, a dude that gets with you, he gonna have to pop kids out like immediately, immediately. Otherwise, what you got a kid to start having children at 39? Is that what we're doing? See, people don't think about that. They don't think about that. Even Taylor Swift. Taylor, look, she's a billionaire, so it don't matter. But honestly, Taylor Swift Rihanna kind of pushed it to the edge. Taylor Swift having kids at 35. But I guess that's what you got to do when you selling that white purity. Yeah, that bitch finna go crazy. We can railgun any content we want. We can crowdfund. Yeah, because the thing is, you gotta think about it. Certain conversations we can light it up, and not just on YouTube, but we can light it up on TikTok. I'm not TikTok, but also really Twitter too. So somebody saying something, you go in it, even if it's somebody like a Shay Sade or something, because she's real heavy on Twitter. But other dudes, some dudes saying some goofy stuff, and so you can have more of an impact. Obviously, with Compassion Cows is good at with the pics, not the pics, but the clips as well. So it's a lot of opportunities. Let me see. And trust me, there's stuff that I ain't even no, I think I have told him. It's stuff, man, you ain't got no idea. In fact, this is a good step to a bigger thing that somebody is wanting to do. Um that it kind of, yeah, he's wanting to do. I ain't even go bring it up yet, but it definitely could be big. Yes. You can, so yes, you can do panels on Discord. You can do panels on Discord. And when I say panels, like you can share videos and stuff, you can absolutely do that on Discord. A lot of these big streamers, that's what they do. A lot of, I'll talk to you offline about it, but a lot of the big streamers, like one of the things why a lot of these streamers be having so many big, like large streams, is because they got Discord servers. So what they, because I'm in some of them, they what they do is you gotta remember, like Discord is connected via your phone. It's kind of like a like Telegram or WhatsApp. So the messages come through. It's not like YouTube, where the YouTube algorithm. Discord ain't based on advertising like that. So if you can, so it's almost like having your own it's the closest thing, your own personal social media. And people are in there talking on their own. I wasn't in my Discord in the very beginning like that. And then when people was in there, because I was in my Telegram, and I'm in my Telegram too, but I'm probably in my Discord a little bit more. And once I found out you could do voice notes in there, I do voice notes. I'm one of few that do. A couple other people do every once in a while. And so yeah, you can do just like StreamYard. You can do that in there. You can also, if you wanted to do like a Discord, and then you do an unlisted video, like an unlisted live stream, you could do that. So it's a lot. Because remember, Discord was built around video games. Discord was for video games. That's what Discord was built for. No, that's crazy. Okay. So Yeah. I mean, they didn't. A lot of them didn't get lucky. There's a lot of techniques that they had. Even the clip farming is a technique. Like it's an evolution of certain stuff that we did. They literally create a reality show. Basically, what a lot of, like, when you see like these streamers walking, even that bullshit agent did. I think he did that on purpose. They say, okay, what's gonna have a buzz? And what they essentially do is they go out all day making clips. Some people do it with pranks. Some people, once you got a following, they just got to keep it going. They don't got to do skits. It's kind of like they're in this kind of like semi-realistic kind of life situation where they can just create the stuff on autopilot and then they stream the clips to reinforce the streams, not clips like, we just cutting our stuff up. No, it's actually really ingenious what they did. But as far as the Discord thing, yeah, because Discord it's like it's a phone, it's more of a phone app. Like, not a phone app, but like Telegram, WhatsApp, these are messaging apps. Discord is more of a messaging app than it is an actual like website. And because Discord isn't based around giving you stuff, but when you get subs, if you redirect them in that, you control what it is. Now you can't just do anything because they can shut your server down. Obviously because this stuff is going down, but typically they're not doing that. So when something gets posted, now you're not getting inundated with messages unless there's things like everyone something. But there's a lot of stuff that can be done. A lot of stuff. A lot of stuff. And honestly, low key, we should have built one years ago. Really, I mean, Angry Man had one. Certain people had them, but we should have had a master one years ago. That way, anybody that shares the space with somebody, now they're going into an ecosystem rather than going into one dude and it's like a cult and stuff. You're going into an ecosystem and you can actually, that's why I like the initiated kind of thing, because you can actually mark, it's kind of like Fight Club. You don't talk about Fight Club, the kind of that aesthetic, and you're bringing them in there not under an occult of one person's personality but like a whole group. So a lot of people that, the people that are not going to necessarily create channels, they'll be in that because they can kind of cover their identity and stuff and have their experience. So there's a lot of opportunity with stuff like that. So there's a lot of opportunities. There's opportunities to bring people into Discord because it's not necessarily going to be public. So yeah, it's a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff, man. Yeah, I'm proud of how it turned out, and make no mistake, it turned out. Yeah, I put content in there, but Ezra, there's a lot of people in there that make that thing. Lion, y'all know who y'all are. Don't get mad if Nate is in there, and they make it pop. It's because one of the issues with my Telegram group is it's too much content being there, and the content isn't organized. Versus I have categories, and for the most part the general category is the most used, but people, I have geekdom, so we put all like music, anime, geekdom, and it's hood, it's black. It's not like it's just a whole bunch of anime shit in there. Like, it's a lot of, you know music, geekdom, stuff like that. Geekdom corner, sports corner. I got a females corner. I only got like maybe 6 women in there. So it's Angelica, a couple. but they ain't even like talking like that. They ain't you ain't even talking like that. Toya, I think, is in there. It's like four, but the females corner is really aggregating like a video like Dee Dee, Shay Sade, that type of stuff. What's going on in the sphere, which is like our stuff, in case something's going on. Politics corner, passport girls corner, and all these things. So what happens is people can kind of go up either of those strains. Now, what I've started doing, and I haven't done it much, but I need to do it a lot harder, is you can do sub threads. So if it's like a topic like DDG and Halle Bailey, you can do a sub thread, and that way we can all aggregate the videos that we have. I have a TikTok corner, so if you see something on TikTok, you can put it there, and so it's organized in such a way. Now, that's not how I would do like what Pastor Cal is going to do. We're going to have like, I'm sure the Great Faulkner Initiative is going to be in there. They already got the Monahan report and probably the videos breaking that down. It's going to be stuff in there, and that's what the thread is. That's what a sub thread is probably going to be good for, where you can have certain sub threads, and then I don't know. We may have there's ways to like directly link the stuff to where we can get people to certain information. So we're aggregating certain things. I'm sure a game thing will be in there, and that stuff will be educational. There's a lot of opportunities and a lot of people to participate. Ray is somebody else in my Discord. It's quite a few. Don't get mad if I'm forgetting. Don't do that. Man, you didn't mention me, and then the enemy is born. F that nigga. Let's see how this comes out. Basically, what I'm doing right now is I'm using a website called RunPod because I don't have a GPU on my computer because I need to upgrade my computer. And I'm using a thing called RunPod, and RunPod allows me to rent a GPU for like a couple of cents an hour. Okay, so that's not gonna work. Okay, it's a good test. Let's come back to. What are we talking about? So it's a lot of opportunities and a lot of people to participate in a way that's not going, you know. So I'm looking forward to it. You said the Discord work. Yeah, dude, Discord was made for. Are you serious? Great question. Discord is made for mobile. Discord is like WhatsApp. Discord, it's made for mobile. It's not like a regular like it's actually encoded. It's made for mobile. Yes, it works extremely well. It's very user friendly. It was made for mobile. I'm not gonna say it works well everywhere. Discord was, yeah, works, yes, absolutely. And I use Discord all the time. I'm here constantly. Like honestly, you'd be like, damn, we should have got in touch with Discord. We should have got hooked into Discord earlier, because Discord solves a lot of different problems. Honestly, if BGS had a Discord, he has his Patreon, and he don't really want to manage the Discord. But like real talk, that's gonna solve the ban problem, the shadow ban problem. Yeah, I gotta send you an invite link. My Discord isn't bigger because after people did that goofy shit when my mom died, I locked my Discord down. I'm at 300 people. I mean, honestly, I could have got it to like, if I would have really pushed it, I could have probably got it to 1,000 or 2,000. And that also gets around people not seeing my videos and stuff. All right, y'all, I gotta go, but I'll put a video out, kind of going over the Discord, my Discord, so y'all can see it. But anyway, I appreciate y'all as always. It's Edward signing off. Peace.